What's up, YouTube? Welcome back. Today we're going to look at another excellent, awesome release. Nike knocked these out of the park. It's kind of struggling to find a pair, and we happened to go downtown, Chicago, went to Nike Town, Chicago, and searched the entire store and didn't see anything anywhere. So I went all the way upstairs where they sometimes have, the newer retros, and sure enough, at the bottom right, at the end of the last part of the display, I usually, kind of scan through. There they were sitting there. So I lucked out and was able to grab a pair. So the Nike Hurache, the Scream Green colorway, just excellent all around from the box detail, like the Air Max 90s, Air Max 3 that they did last year. These just really, really nicely done. And we're going to kind of look at the comparison between this Scream Green Huarache for 2021. And on the left side, we're going to dip into the 2014 retro. I have worn those quite a bit, and they're in pretty good shape still, so it'll make for a nice one. And we have the purple from, I think, 2018. So we will do that next. We're going to take a front-end toe look here first. And the first thing I definitely noticed between the Scream Green of 2014, it's a wider shoe. It's definitely wider. They did lace the new 2021 retro a little tighter, but it's definitely a bit wider of a shoe cut. The blue is not faded. I only wore these, X amount of times. They're not totally beat, but it definitely is a lighter shade of blue compared to the newer one. And you can actually see the width here, and this is more narrow, kind of reflecting on the width of the shoe itself. The leather here on the toe is just so nice. It's so thick. All the cuts, you can see the thickness. Really nice quality leather. And even on the purple punch on the left here, it's a little thicker, but it's still not as thick. And then the 2014, it's definitely thinner cut. And then you have the original 91 tongue tag, the Air Hurache, on both of these two, which I love. And this is the one that came, years after 92 and on. So that was neat to see. The toe shape for the toe box is just really done nicely on the 2021. And another thing that they retooled, I think they did an awesome job on this year. You can see the width where the outsole comes up to the toe. It should be wider like that. Then when you look at your 2018 and your 2014 on both sides, it's got this more narrow tipped toe. So I was pretty impressed with all these little fine tooling that Nike has done with this release, and I'm looking forward to more colorways coming out. All right, now we're looking at the heel view, and you can definitely see the green. It's deeper, more vibrant, more screaming. It's darker Nike here on the 2014, and the shape is cut a little better, a little closer to the OG on this spot. Also, the texture here, it was a little flatter on the original release. I would love to find a pair of OG Huaraches if anybody has any leads. I have seen some pairs out there, but they're usually like really small, like size 7 or smaller. So I'd rather have just a little larger adult size. But you can see it's a little more flush. They're there, but it's a little more not as pronounced. These are definitely more pronounced. And the blue, you can definitely see again, is more a deeper blue. This is tighter. This is definitely a tighter little heel pull tab at the back here. And I think people are having some troubles back in 2014. I've seen some, like, they're trying to slip them on that they were snapping. So I think Nike just made, could be a coincidence, but it looks like they made a little more adjustment. Even here, they're a little looser. So I know they are, they're good. They're snug when I put them on, but I know that people were having some issues with the older retro that was ripping. So I think they kind of tooled that as well. So if you come up over the top, you'll see definitely a more of an angle of the leather on the toe here. And you can see it's definitely thicker here. Thinner, much thinner. And this is a little better, but still a little thinner. Definitely the 2021 is just done very impressively. When we look, you can kind of see the insoles. I'll drop a photo of each, but they did a nice big purple insole on the purple pair. They brought back the Scream Green, which is really cool to see. And this one's just black, and it's kind of like the italic Nike. But I'll put a photo of that in too. But yeah, they definitely did a few extra details on the insole stamp, minus the registered marks. I would have liked to see those registered logos that sometimes I forget. I love a good toe box, and 2021 Huarache is exactly that. It's aerodynamic, it's sleek. You can see even with the thicker leather cut, it doesn't like hump up. This one comes a little bit, you know, a little raised to it, nothing crazy. But this is just gorgeous. They did an awesome job with this, so very happy to see this. The leather here, you can see it's really smooth. It's a soft leather. The spacing here, you can see it's wider. This is definitely closer to the original. Again, you can kind of see that toe cap here. It's definitely wider than this little narrow spot. The midsole, you can see these are definitely more pronounced. So it's kind of interesting to see between 2014 and now. Let's take Purple Punch, because it was very similar leather. You can see it's very, very similar. But even the toe shape, it's just, the toe box is even, you know, a little nicer, I think, on this one. It's close. Like, you just see these subtle improvements, you know, over the years, which is a great thing to see, because sometimes it goes the other which way. Especially with like the Air Jordan 4. It's like one thing's fixed, and then the next release, two things is messed up instead of the first one. So gotta keep it real, you know. And when Nike does an awesome job like this is awesome. It's amazing. So high praise. Great retro. But yeah, very similar leather on these two. Even here, you can see I was just talking. This is a little wider. It's like just everything was just a little more fine-tuned. So that was definitely nice to see. As we're now looking at the outsole, they definitely look pretty identical, you know, from a first impression. And you can see here, this is my Scream Greens from 2014. Not too heavily worn, but they were worn. They are missing what I call the nipples on the shoe, like you see here. That's what they look like to me. So I'm like, hey, they're sneaker nipples. Everybody's got nipples. Please don't report me, you know. So let's it's hopefully not that offensive to everybody. So these are definitely, you know, a little worn, but the main thing I would here want to point out, with all jokes aside, is this fine tuning of the original. So if you move in, you'll see that it's kind of cut off the square, and it's zoomed in. You have a larger Nike branding. So it's like kind of chopped here. But then when you go to the left and you see here, it's a perfect square, and it's kind of inset more. So that's kind of a thing they've been doing with the retros in the past couple of years. But as you can see, we're going to swap out here for the purple as well, that they did the same thing where it's a little smaller and kind of set in to where that's not like the original. This is definitely a good thing that we see an improvement on. It's a minor detail, but it's definitely, you know, the attention to detail is what's important. And Nike, again, executed that perfectly. So we had a good shot of that. Beautiful outsole. Dead stock sneaker nipples. So that'll just about do it for today. And once again, we had the 2021 Scream Green Nike Air Hurache. On the left, we had the 2014 and the Purple Punch from 2018 here on the right. So if you guys enjoyed this video, you can like it, subscribe, and you can follow me at OG or Bust on Instagram. And have a good one.